warm welcome to the Weekend Space. Kenya's coffee is among the world's most loved and favorite cups. In sub-Saharan Africa, Kenya ranks at number 6 among top producers of coffee. In the early 80s, coffee was not among the most favorite beverages for Kenyans. However, there's been a noticeable shift in the coffee consumption trends among Kenyans in major urban towns, especially the capital, Nairobi. It's a very common thing to hear Kenyans say, "Let's meet for coffee soon." This trend started about a decade ago and has been picking pace since then. This is manifested by the mushrooming of coffee restaurants, especially in the CBD of Nairobi, the capital. In this video, I will share with you some of the reasons as to why there has been this increased demand and some of the reasons as to why coffee lovers are staring at a very gloomy future. But before then, if you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. If you're here for another time, I want to sincerely thank you for your continued support. We do not take it for granted. The coffee restaurant business started in Kenya with the establishment of the Nairobi Java House in 1999. Mainly at that time, it was meant to cater for tourists and expatriates. The market niche for these restaurants at that time was middle income earners and high income earners who desired clean, safe, quiet, and spacious restaurants to do their businesses as well as lunch meetings. Over the years, these restaurants obtained a new market niche of Nairobians who desired a different romantic and dating scene that is different from bars and nightclubs. And therefore, in the recent past, you'll see so many up and coming young couples flocking coffee shops in the evenings before heading home. And this has been attributed to the growing Kenya's economy, which has been growing steadily over the years, and therefore a majority of young Kenyans have an extra coin to spend on datings and outings. Despite this increasing demand and rising trend of coffee consumption in the country, the coffee crop is glaring at a very dark future. A recent study shows that more than half of the wild coffee species worldwide are facing a threat of extinction in the next 10 or 20 years. And this is why. Number one is corruption and mismanagement. Coffee farming has been, for a long time, been prone to mismanagement and corruption. And that's why in Kenya, you'll see many times coffee farmers decrying of poor prices and high cost of input. This has made a lot of coffee farmers resort to other crops, and they have cleared a lot of coffee bushes and coffee plantations to give way for other crops such as tea, maize, and any other. This has lowered the quantity of coffee produced and therefore has a long-term impact of ultimately reducing the coffee that will be produced in the next few years going forward. Secondly is climate change. This is not only a Kenyan conversation but a global conversation. The Arabica type, which is mostly grown in Kenya, is a very delicate type of coffee that requires a lot of shade and cool temperatures to thrive. The rising temperatures are not doing any good to this coffee. Additionally, with the rising temperatures, a lot of pests are attacking this coffee. Ultimately, what this will do is that it will reduce the type and the quality of coffee that will be produced, as well as the quantity that will be produced. And this then also feeds into the even lesser quantity that is already being produced at the moment. Thirdly is encroachment and deforestation. With the rising number of population among Kenyans, A lot of land that was initially meant for coffee plantations, the vast lands, have now been converted into residential areas. The reduced sizes of coffee farms have an effect in the overall quantity of coffee that will be produced. Where there's reduced quantity of land under coffee plantation, the quantity of harvest as well will be reduced. And this is another big deal and another big topic that is affecting coffee plantation in the country. Lastly, is the aging coffee farmer. A lot of people who do coffee farming are the older generation. The younger generation have not really moved into farming and especially coffee farming. And this is posing a challenge in the near future where we shall not be having as many coffee farmers as there used to be. And this then means that coffee production will go down. And all these four reasons are contributing to one thing: reduced quantity of coffee produced. And with time, this is even getting worse and worse. And therefore, if this is not sorted, if these issues are not addressed, the Kenyan coffee is facing a very dark future. Let us know in the comment section what you think about the future of coffee in Kenya and in the world. If you are here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. If you are here another time, I want to sincerely thank you for your continued support. We do not take it for granted. Goodbye and see you in our next video.